crews were out really early this morning. I saw them about 3 a.m. when I was out. So
Yeah.
they were out putting it down. It's taken longer to do the job. Salt's less effective and works much slower at these colder temperatures, especially when we see the low single digits coming the beginning of the week. The salt sometimes will just lay there and not even be effective at all. So just, plan for some extra time.
Yeah,
Just, go slow and plan for some extra time. That way you're not in a hurry.
I was glad to see just a little bit, out there this morning when I looked out the window. When I got up at 3 a.m., I looked out the window and thought, okay, it looks okay. Looks okay.
The weather forecast yesterday said, Snowmageddon, it's going to be 20
It's always
inches
like
deep.
that.
Yeah,
well, they got that.
We'll see.
They got up along the lake shore. I mean, I know
Wow.
Ashtabula early this morning was already at 10.5 inches. So.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
No.
No, me either.
Why does anybody choose to live in Ashtabula? I'm kidding. No, I mean, along the lake shore, I guess, but
So
still.
a lot of the nurseries are up there.
Are-
I
yeah.
spend quite a bit of time in Lake County, and that's right up in the main snow belt up there when
Yeah.
I'm doing my tagging and stuff like that. The snow is actually, for them, it's a blessing. As long as it doesn't collapse the hoop houses and stuff
Right.
like that. It's an insulator. And so it really helps protect the plants from that 3 degrees coming. Those plants are all buried in snow. So it's not going to hurt those plants. So there's some plus to it if you want to look at that silver lining.
Yeah, I never thought about that. But that's a very good point. Good point. All right.
There's a lot of ice underneath, a lot of ice underneath of it. So that's where it's kind of slick around here. So
Yeah, I would agree. And we've had some accidents because of that this morning. So, again, folks, if you just want to chat, you want to give us a call, 330-450-1480. And you can also send an email to me, pcook@whbc.com. I'd be more than happy to ask the questions for you. And certainly, I was talking earlier about just, you can sit inside while that snow's out there and you can look out your patio door or whatever and say, what do I want to do this spring, right?
100%. We've got a lot of our designers this time of year. They go out and meet with people and work one-on-one with them and do drawings and designs. And really, we have a lot more time this time of year than we do in the spring when it's just go, go, go all the time. And so if you call and set up an appointment with one of our designers, whether you're looking for a landscape refresh or a yard improvement or a fire pit or a brick patio, all those things can be done and drawn up. And a lot of times we'll do a master drawing, and then we work with the customer over a period of several years, and we pick projects from start to finish.
Okay.
And that way there's some organization to it, and you're not working over top of this project to work on the next project, and you kind of get a game plan going.
Yeah, and it helps you to be able to pay for whatever you need to pay for, too, for some people.
Sometimes it's a lot, so you just pick it apart in smaller blocks.
Yeah, I love that idea. That's a great idea. Plus, it'll warm you up just a little bit while you're sitting inside.
Yeah, thinking about a fire pit, it's not terrible, right?
Right.
yeah.
What do you think Matt, is like people are interested? I mean, like fire pits or things like that. Is that what people are going after these days?
Expanding your outdoor living space is huge. People want to be able to enjoy the outdoors, and those patios and the seating walls and the fire pits, those are and bubbling rock features where we're adding water and fire and all of the elements that stimulates the senses. We're adding that into that outdoor living space, just making it more enjoyable to be out there.
Yeah. And Rachel, when do you start doing your seed stuff?
Well, now's a good time to be kind of planning and getting an idea of what you want to plant for this upcoming year. But it's just depending on what it is. Usually it's not until later February, but it's a good planning time, So I always kind of keep notes on what worked and what didn't work, what I liked and didn't like, So I always like to go through that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so you don't forget, because you easily forget what was
Doomed to
bad.
repeat the same mistake.
Yes. I always try different varieties of tomatoes and stuff. And sometimes you get one that's really good, and then there's one that's like, or not a good producer or grower, that kind of stuff. So,
well, Matt, at the end of the show last week, you talked about these new varieties of basil, didn't you?
Yes.
You just threw that right at me at the end, and I was like in shock. I was in shock. I'm like, yes, I had to try that. What were you talking? So let's repeat that again.
Andrea is one of our reps from Willoway Nursery. They're one of the largest growers east of the Mississippi. And so they have it's just an amazing place to see. Literally, you cannot see everything they're growing even in several days. It's thousands and thousands and thousands of acres in production. And they're always trying new varieties. And she said they've got a new basil coming out that's supposed to be a very sturdy, hardy, good grower,
Pam-proof.
good producer. Yes, yeah, maybe. Pam friendly.
Pam friendly. There you go.
There you
That's
go.
it.
I like it.
Wow, that's awesome.
So yeah, we're gonna see if we can get her down and maybe have her in as a guest on the show one of
Yes,
these weeks.
we
coming
do
up
need to
here.
do that. Now I remember that's what we were talking about. Yeah, that would be great because
Fun.
obviously they're creating that.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm not the only person who has trouble growing basil.
Well,
Exactly.
and you think about it, you're growing a basil, they're growing 50,000 basil. So for them, it's
a lot of pesto.
Yes, they want to make sure that they've got the hardiest strain and the one that's got the flavor that they're after. They're testing all these things to make sure what they're producing is the best stuff that can be produced.
Yeah.
To fit that need.
I love it. I love it. I can't wait to find out more about that. And what kind of things are you looking at, Matt? I mean,
So this time of year, all the confirmations are coming back. We do a lot of our ordering for what we're going to be arriving at the nursery here in March. We'll bring in around 30 semi-loads to fill us up for the year, and that's really not that far away.
no.
So this is the time of year we're getting the confirmations back. So I ask for 100 trees, they're going to give me 50.
Okay.
Or 60 or 80 or whatever it is this year. This year's confirmations were much better than years past. There's been some other years where we've had to order everything from everybody and then see what we got confirmed and then go back through the orders, make our cuts and make our adjustments determined by quality and price.
Yeah.
This year, the confirmations came back really good. There's a few holes, but nothing too major. So I'm excited to see that stock finally start to come in. And then we're going to work with shippers and, shipping companies and get our freight rates. That's all undetermined until you're literally ready to ship. So that can still vary a little bit between now and March. So it just depends a little bit on, but bringing in plants early, super important. Because the earlier we bring those plants in, we want them to wake up naturally here.
Okay.
So everything's asleep right now in the winter months. It's resting. We want it to wake up here. The last thing we want to do is bring product in that's already actively growing because this is Ohio. So we are going to get cold in April for sure, and then possibly even in May.
And some snow possibly.
Yeah,
Yes.
100%. So we want to make sure we bring those trees in here and let them wake up in Ohio's climate. Most of the stuff we're buying is coming from, excluding like the tropicals in the greenhouse, most of the stuff is all coming from Northeast Ohio. We do step out of the state a little bit for certain plant material that just isn't available in the numbers that we need here in the state of Ohio. And some of the unique specimen material like sculpted pines and certain Japanese maples that are dwarfs, they grow so slow here. We'll bring those in from the Oregon market, actually around the Portland,
wow.
Oregon area. And so we go out there about once every 4 or 5 years, take notes on all the growers, who's producing what. And I'm not just looking at when we spend that, invest that time and money to go out there, I'm not just looking at what's going to be ready next year. I'm looking at what does the stock look like for the next 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
And so we're taking good notes from each of the growers so we can kind of determine. And now their growing season affects how those plants turn out.
Right.
Like, you remember the fires in California a few years ago?
Yeah.
That actually slowed down growth 30% in the state of California because it blocked the sunlight out. So
That's amazing when
there's
you think
certain
about that.
things that will affect, and if they have like one year, I think they had a really bad ice storm in February. And so the things that we got confirmed, we thought we were coming in that weren't going to ship till March, now we're not shippable. And so there's always pivoting and moving going on behind the scenes to make sure that we've got the stock in-house that we need.
All right, we will take our first break, guys. And again, 330-450-1480. That's the number to call. You can also send me an email, pcook@whbc.com. Any questions you want to ask, love to hear from you. It is Let's Grow Together with Rohr's Nursery and Garden Center.
Hi, it's Angie Rohr with Rohr's Nursery. Spring feels like it's so far away, but at Rohr's, we're getting ready for it. Why not get an early start on spring yourself and call now to schedule your appointment with one of our experts to brighten up your landscape? Visit us at Rohr's Nursery on Everhard Road, Rohr's Nursery on Portage Street, or rohrsnursery.com.
Rohr's Nursery, we want to be your number one nursery. Rohr's Nursery, we want to be your number one nursery.
They didn't have skim milk for your coffee, so I just got formaldehyde.
Ugh, isn't that stuff in floor cleaner?
Pizza's here. Would you like cheese on that? Or how about a Crolian?
Oh, no, that's in bug spray.
Hi there. Would you like to sample our new scent? Diethylene glycol.
Isn't that the stuff in antifreeze?
You wouldn't want to eat it, drink it, or even smell it, but that's exactly what's in your vapes. If you vape, quit. If you don't vape, don't start. For help, go to odh.ohio.gov/no-vapes. A message from the Ohio Department of Health.
Altman Health System has been caring for our community for over 130 years. This includes 24/7 emergency services, heart care, surgery, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Altman Health System. Today, tomorrow, and always. We're here for you. Altman Health System has been caring for our community for over 130 years. This includes 24/7 emergency services, heart care, surgery, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Altman Health System. Today, tomorrow, and always. We're here for you.
Surprise! Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected! Also, you forgot to renew your website domain and now you're in a bidding war!
You should see the look on your face.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room and now everything smells weird!
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
And welcome back to Let's Grow Together with Rohr's Nursery and Garden Center. We have Matt and Rachel with us this morning. And, we're in the dead of winter. It's snow on the ground. It's icy and cold, but still, we're just encouraging you to think spring.
And there's things we could be doing right now. I'm talking to myself right now. Matt, call the mower repair place and make your appointment. Get your mower in, get it serviced. That way, I don't have to worry about it later. They're generally great. They get it turned around in a few weeks. I don't need it this time of year, so it's not an issue that it's not in my garage, but I can take it there, get it dropped off, let them do all the service on it, get it back, and get it back in the barn, and then when spring comes, I'm just ready to go.
And if you want a new one, if you're thinking of purchasing a new one, now's the time to go out there and look, right?
100%.
Yeah.
I'm not sure all the different places and what their deals are, but I know a lot of them do have maintenance service. So for me, I put it on my trailer and I take it in. It's not a big deal, but not everybody has that as an option. And they've got this mower there. They're to the point where I just really don't want to have to maintenance it myself anymore. A lot of these places will either have discounted or a special rate to come out and pick up and drop off, again, making your life easier.
Yeah, that's great.
So.
That's a great thing. Because, if you were out there and your weed whacker was not working properly, probably made you very mad, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that brings up another good point. So anybody running a snowblower, please use recreational gas in that blower. We've talked about it in the past on the radio show here. Recreational gas is available at certain gas stations, not all gas stations. And recreational gas is different. It does not have ethanol in it, and it has a fuel stabilizer built into it. Well, what happens with our snow blowers? Yes, you may use them this month, and you may use them in February. Maybe not.
Maybe not, yeah.
And then that thing sits there. Do you drain the gas out of it? 99.9% of us never drain that gas out. So having something in there with a fuel stabilizer, and ethanol doesn't have the shelf life that regular gas does. So using a gas that's ethanol-free will help keep that engine cleaner, running better, lasting longer. I use that stuff in all of my kids' four-wheelers. I use it in my weed eaters, my blowers. Anything that's a small engine,
Okay.
it's real easy for the carburetor to get gummed up. And by using something with a stabilizer in it that doesn't have the ethanol that's going to break down the fuel lines and some other things that can happen from having a high ethanol fuel, you just don't have to deal with that with the recreational fuel. Now, yes, it is a little bit more expensive. I think you're looking at, I don't know, $3.99. It's about $1 a gallon more.
Okay.
But you're not using
You're
that
not
much.
using 10
yeah,
gallons.
Yeah, you're not using
right.
10 gallons.
Right.
You're filling up a 5-gallon gas can that may last you several months. So it costs you $5 more. Well, just to bench something, a small engine at a repair shop, you're looking at $110 an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, that $5 is nothing in
That's
comparison.
exactly
there.
right. That's
and
exactly
the headaches
right.
that it saves is well worth the effort to just use that recreational gas as well.
I didn't even know, to be honest with you, that existed. Go ahead, Rachel. I'm sorry.
I didn't either. Yeah, I was just going to ask if you can just get that at regular gas stations then?
So not all gas stations offered. I know that like the holiday marathons, I know that the one in Canal Fulton has it. That's where I get mine from, and their handles on their pumps are red. You'll see the green is usually the diesel, and then the black is your regular fuel.
Okay.
And it's usually not available at every pump, but it'll be at like one of the end stations. And so that's where I pick up mine. And I see a lot of guys down there filling up mowers and blowers and stuff like that, and gas cans getting filled up down there. Because once you know what it is and you've used it, it works so good. And you just it just eliminates one layer of problems for very, very little extra cost.
It looks like Marathon gas stations carry it.
Yeah.
GetGo. I'm looking at the list here.
Okay.
Hall of Fame Fuel Mart.
Okay.
There's if you just Rachel, if you just or anybody listening, if you just Google recreational gas, it tells you what it is, obviously, and explains it, but it also gives a list of local places that have it.
And so my neighbor Chris, he uses what's called True Fuel, where you actually buy like the little. They look like they're the old turpentine metal cans, and they actually have True Fuel, which is a higher octane. It's a non-ethanol gas as well. It's basically like rec fuel, and it probably has better cleaners and detergents in it, but now you're going to be significantly more than that, $4 a gallon. So I haven't had any issues. My kids, when they were younger, they had a really small, like 50cc four-wheeler because it kept destroying the power wheels, right? They'd drive it and go full speed forward and then slam it into reverse and spin the rear end around. I was like, you got to stop watching the Dukes of Hazzard. You're killing me here. And so I switched them to a real small, their first four-wheeler was a real small engine four-wheeler. Where the smaller the engine, the smaller the carburetor, the smaller the jet. It would literally plug every winter, and I'd have to pull this carburetor apart and clean it. And I switched to the recreational fuel, started running a little Seafoam, which is an engine cleaner and additive, and never cleaned it again.
Wow, that's
So
amazing.
it was well worth the 2 hours it saved me to tear it apart and rebuild it every spring just by using something that only costs $1 or $2 more.
Yeah, and it says it's specifically for small engines, boats, classic cars.
Yeah. Well, you remember back then, ethanol wasn't a thing.
Right.
So,
right. So that's what they need, and power sports equipment, like you were saying, and they also say it stays fresher longer, up to 6 to 12 months compared to ethanol, which is 3 months.
Right.
So wow, it is well worth the extra money per gallon. But there you go. And there's the little you were saying about red and
it shows the different
Mm-hmm.
online. There shows the different colors of the pump handles. Now I didn't realize this. That's not always the same. Certain gas stations, their green is their regular fuel and their black is their diesel.
Yeah,
so
we've got to be careful.
It's station specific. So
but look at the different colors, and it'll tell you what it is.
Yeah.
It's Rec 90 is what REC Rec 90.
Yep. So it's a little higher octane than the 87 or 88, whatever we're normally putting in our vehicles. And our vehicles your fuel is generally never sitting in your vehicle for 6 months, unless maybe it is that classic car. And again, that's where this rec fuel would come in and help preserve that engine and the fuel lines and the fuel pumps and just make them last longer and be less of a headache.
Yeah, it says to look for the pumps that are labeled ethanol free or Rec 90.
Yep.
And you can also go to pure gas, as you mentioned, .org, and they'll give you places all around where you live where you can that. Yeah, and it's $3 a gallon. $3 a gallon.
And I didn't know about this for the longest time.
Yeah, right.
Basically, until I had the problem with the four-wheeler, and that was probably 15 years ago. But I'm like, how can I be this old and not know this? I mean, it's just one of those things that wasn't really talked about. And so try to get the information out there, educate people, make their lives easier.
Yeah.
For very little cost.
So this would be for your lawnmower, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Lawnmower. And this is something else that's important to think about this time of year. What happens with our temperatures right now? We were 50 2 days ago.
Fluctuates.
And now we're going to go down to 3 degrees on Monday, I think I heard.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a half-empty gas tank on your mower, you're creating condensation inside there with that temperature change. So it's important to keep the fuel tanks full. If you're using a rec fuel especially, it has the stabilizer already built into it, but don't put the thing away. I mean, I know how it is in the fall, especially with my leaves and stuff. I got to go out there and I'm mowing, and I don't always think about keeping that tank topped off in the fall time of the year. And if you haven't done it, then get some of that rec fuel and top it back off. You'll thank me in the spring, because you don't want a lot of cycles of moisture, because that condensation inside the tank adds water in the fuel. Now the fuel doesn't burn right. So keeping the tanks full, and the same thing goes for our vehicles.
Okay.
I mean, keeping your gas tank full in the wintertime, it can save you some headaches.
That's good. That's a good thing to know. And I people, and I know especially, those who have their favorite equipment, everybody's got their favorite, blower and all that kind of stuff. You want to make sure you take care of it, because those things are not cheap.
They're not cheap, but if you do take care of them, they last a long time.
Yeah.
I think I had a Stihl backpack blower I got at Bears about, it was probably 2010, 2009. Wow. It finally got retired this last year, but it blew leaves every week, helped maintain ponds. It was one of those things. It was a tool that I used all the time.
Yeah.
It's those tools that we don't think about using all the time that we do use all the time. Shop vac. There's another one.
Yeah.
Every project I've ever done in my garage ends with the shop vac, because that's how I'm cleaning it up.
Right, exactly.
So taking good care of that equipment will definitely help make it last longer, and the most important part is just create less headaches for you.
It's less stressful, no doubt about it. All right, we're going to take our break for the news right now, and again, you can call us at 330-450-1480 or send an email to pcook@whbc.com. This is Let's Grow Together with Rohr's Nursery and Garden Center.
News Talk 1480 and Mix 94.1.
Get ready. Canton Kid Fest is back. And bigger and better than ever before.
All the usual fun, now with even more cool stuff to do.
We're talking bounce houses, games, activities, and tons of interactive indoor family fun.
Get ready, wrestling fans. All new this year, it's the Neo Pro Wrestling Show. Body slams, turnbuckles, and crowd-roaring action.
And we got some for the Swifties, too.
Welcome to the stage!
Get ready for the Miss Americanas. Ultimate unofficial live band Taylor Swift tribute, presented by our friends at the Music Farm.
A fresh twist on celebrating Taylor's music.
With live mashups and unique live band arrangements of your favorite Taylor jams.
$10 gets you into Kid Fest.
And VIP access to the Taylor Tribute Show.
The Miss Americanas and all events are fan-sponsored and not endorsed by or affiliated with TAS Rights Management, Taylor Swift, or their affiliated entities.
Canton Kid Fest 2026. Saturday, March 14th, Canton Civic Center.
Get your tickets and everything you need to know now. WHBC.com. Powered by SARTA. Creating and connecting opportunities one ride at a time.
Medicine Center pharmacies have been serving our local community for over 40 years. Our customers know they can count on our pharmacy staff, save money, and trust us. Stop by any of our Medicine Center pharmacy locations in Canton, Louisville, Minerva, and New Philadelphia, or visit us online at medshoprx.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Back by popular demand, pros pick DuraCube or Red Out Softener Salt as buy 12, get 1 free at Verndale Water Experts. Stop in or convenient home delivery available.
Ferndale's Water Center.
WHBC AM Canton, reliable as ever on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
From the News Talk 1480 WHBC newsroom, the man accused of a double homicide on I-71 is now indicted on several charges. Court records say that Nishan Wood faces several counts, including murder, aggravated murder, attempted murder, and felonious assault. Last month, 2 were killed and another was injured when investigators say a person drove up next to another vehicle on I-71 and fired multiple shots. Wood is set to be arraigned tomorrow. Top diplomats from Denmark and Greenland met with Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio at the White House yesterday to discuss the future of Greenland. President Trump has pushed to take control of the Arctic territory, saying it's important for U.S. defenses. Greenland's prime minister said that his country does not want to be part of the U.S. and would choose Denmark if forced to pick sides. A new poll found only 17% of Americans support Trump's push to acquire Greenland, and just 4% back using military force. An ailing astronaut and 3 others returned to Earth early from their space station mission in NASA's first medical evacuation. SpaceX capsule landed in the Pacific near San Diego, with the astronauts expressing relief at being home. In sports, the Cleveland Cavaliers beat Philadelphia 133-107 last night. NFL coaching news reports say the New York Giants finalizing a deal to make John Harbaugh their new head coach. I'm Pam Cook.
Your severe weather station, News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Today will be frigid with intermittent snow and flurries, which will accumulate a coating to an inch with a storm total snowfall of 2 to 4 inches. The high temperature will reach 17. Tonight, expect clear to partly cloudy skies and cold weather with a low of 14. Tomorrow will not be as cold with intermittent snow and flurries throughout the day, accumulating a coating to an inch. In the afternoon, it will become breezy with a high of 33. Tomorrow night, there will be more intermittent snow and flurries, accumulating a coating to an inch with a low of 30. With the AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back to Let's Grow Together. It is Pam Cook, Matt Workinger, and Rachel Fender. We're all here, and we're going to go to the phone lines right now. Bring in Carol in Massillon. You're on the air with Roar's Nursery. Go ahead.
Good morning, Carol.
Good morning. I have planted a butterfly bush. I have a Joe Pye weed and milkweed, all for butterflies, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But our association is really looking down on us planting perennials because they say the care after we leave is too taxing.
Sure.
And they want us to plant annuals. Are there any annuals that help or attract butterflies?
Oh, yes, actually, there are quite a bit. I'm assuming it's going to be more in full sun area. Lantana is one of...
Okay, lantana, my sister has grown and had great...
Success. It's an easy one, usually.
Thank you, success. But she had a big planter. Is that in the facing south? So that would be the primary place for it?
Yes, it loves a lot of sun. It does like the heat a lot. So sometimes you do see it a little bit later on. Like it's not one of the first things one of the first annuals you'll see. But they really like that heat. And when you put them in the ground, just add some potting soil to the ground because they do like it more like well drained.
Well, that's part of the problem. We're kind of clay, but I'd have to dig down a little. So that's why I liked having the perennials that somebody else planted for me.
Especially those too, because those are native, so they're used to that kind of soil.
Mm-hmm.
But that makes it more work for you. But but there are quite a bit, especially because a lot of things are constantly in bloom and that kind of thing. As far as annuals go, there are a lot that attract them.
Attract them and hold them, where a lot of the perennials, your bloom cycle is a few weeks or a month. Whereas your annuals, your bloom cycle is the whole summer. So you can really bring them in and hold them for a lot longer and get good enjoyment out of that. It is something you have to plant every year, but it's also something you can change up every year as well.
Right.
And if you kind of look at like how the flower structures are, they like how butterfly bush and lantana, how they're kind of like in a smaller cluster.
Right.
And they have that's kind of like, those are the kinds of plants to look for. When looking for annuals, because that's kind of what they like to look. That's what they go for. That's where it has a lot of nectar.
Cluster. Okay.
Yeah.
Because my butterfly bush, and it faces north, but it gets east and west sun. Does pretty well and does bloom and attracts the butterflies. But I put it there because that's just where I had the space and wanted it, and it does attract, but I can see where it probably could get more blooms if it were in the south. But okay.
Hey, Rachel, real quick, while we got her on the line here still, I'm curious, is there a specific, I know with hummingbirds, there's a specific color that really does a better job of attracting them. Is that also true with butterflies, or is color of the flower less of an issue there?
You know, to be honest, I don't really think it is an issue. I've kind of heard that with hummingbirds too, that people just say that, but just red is like the first thing they go to because it's bright. But
they like the red. I've read that too.
Yeah, I don't think they're selective on them.
Okay.
Color.
All right. Well, maybe with red I could get both, but I know the lantana comes in various colors.
Yes. Yeah, and it's kind of almost like tie-dye, kind of. They have a lot of different...
right.
It's a really, really pretty one. Another one, too, that I just thought of is pentas. That's
Which
another
one?
one that they really like.
What's the name of it again?
Pentas. It's Pentas.
Pentas.
All right, and you have those, or will have, you suppose, when everything comes in?
Yeah, and actually, we'll have quite a bit, and there'll probably be a lot more I can, think of then, too. Heliotrope is another good one, too. It's really really, it smells good.
And we have lists at the nursery too of trees, shrubs, trees, shrubs, perennials, and annuals that are all going to be highly attractive to butterflies and hummingbirds.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I love coming out there and looking at all your pretty things and arrangements, so I'll certainly be out.
Thank you.
We can't wait, right?
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for the information.
Sure, Carol. Thank you for calling. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Very good. Well, see, she's got me thinking. See, she's got her mind in the springtime, doesn't she? I like that.
Yeah, it's a great time to plan and kind of daydream about it, about color and flowers.
I know.
She's staring off into space.
I'm like off into space going, okay, that sounds really, really good. But
I had to repot something the other day for somebody, and I had to open a bag of fresh dirt, and it was just like, it smelled so good.
Yes, honestly, I bet it did.
Yeah, the first truckloads of mulch that come in every year, the pile's steaming because it's still cold outside, and you smell that smell hits you, and you're like, spring is here.
Spring, yes. Oh, I can't even, I got to stop talking about it, because it's
a little ways off.
It's January 15th for crying out loud, I'm making myself feel like it's March. That's what I'm doing right now. So what else is on your docket, Matt? Kinds of things are you working on?
This time of year, actually, believe it or not, I was up at the nursery yesterday, and we're still pulling product for jobs.
Oh, no kidding.
On the days where the snow isn't covering the ground and it's not pouring down rain, now there's not a lot of those days, but when we get those days, we're actually still out there doing work. We got the guys that'll go out. It doesn't make sense to be out there in a pouring down monsoon. Now in the springtime, all bets are off. It's go all the time, no matter what the weather is. Suck it up, Buttercup. We're getting this done. But this time of year, the damage that you do to the yards and the lawns when it's just too wet, you got to pick and choose which days you go out this time of year. But our guys will work through the winter time. I know they went out and planted 30, 40 trees last week out on job site, and some of the commercial sites we can get into a little easier. So it just depends on what projects are going on. And certain times we get held up by a builder didn't get this done on time. And we were supposed to have it planted in November. Well, they just gave us the okay last week. So if we can get in, we'll get that stuff done. And again, that's one more thing off the books for spring, and we can, continue to move forward. But I would say a lot of what's going on this time of year is meeting with customers, developing that relationship, finding out what they want. These guys have got picture books and iPads with pictures on it of a lot of the jobs that we've done. So even if you're not sure exactly what you're looking for, you just know you want something different, have the guys come meet with you. They can sit down, show you these pictures, and then figure out a way to incorporate what we've done for somebody else to your place.
Yeah.
Great time of year to pick up a book or a magazine.
Go online.
If you have a picture of what you're trying to achieve, that is worth a million words trying to describe it to somebody that doesn't understand what you're looking at. A lot of times, like when we're laying out flower beds, we'll take a garden hose and we'll lay the garden hose along the edge of the house and reshape the bed different ways. That way visually, and even if you're doing the project yourself, I highly recommend this. A buddy of mine a few years ago, him and his wife were talking about what they were going to do, and she had an idea in his mind that was totally different than what his idea was. But when they laid that garden hose out, he's like, no, I want to bring this out, the bed out over here so we can put a tree here as a focal point. And so it was a way to use that garden hose and just kind of lay it out, move it around, pull it forward and back. It's just one of those simple things you can do so you're visualizing the same thing.
Yeah.
That's better than spray paint.
Yeah. You're out there scuffing it with your foot, trying to get it to go away.
Yeah. And then it's there forever.
And you You could mark it in the snow.
I'll ask, I don't know how familiar you guys are with bird life at all.
A little bit.
But okay. So I was walking into the radio station yesterday morning, 4:00 in the morning, and there were birds just tweeting like crazy. I'm like, dudes, something's wrong. You're in the wrong place, or I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know what it was yesterday with wildlife. I had at least 8 squirrels in my backyard. Just going up and down the trees.
Yeah, trying to find the nuts before
squirrels. Before the snow covers
before the
again.
snow,
That
maybe.
could be.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah,
It just seemed highly active yesterday.
It was. And I just thought it was so weird because I was like, and then I'm like, are these like hawks going to come down at me? Or, I kept thinking, what is it? But it sounded like an early spring day where where the birds are tweeting and you're going, oh, birds are back.
You're smiling. I know you
are.
are.
It sounds so good. It sounds, so awesome. Very spring-like, obviously. So, but that doesn't happen for a while. We know that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes you kind of wonder, what's going on?
Yeah, I know.
For everybody that's got a pond, keep an eye on it this time of year. It's easy to, put it to bed for winter, cover it with a net, put your heater, your aerator in, and walk away. Peek at it every once in a while. Make sure the aerator's still functioning. Make sure the heater's still working.
Yeah.
These are just things that out of sight, out of mind. You're not really out there. You just kind of forget about it till spring. Poke your head outside once in a while and just check it and make sure that it's still good. I will say this, when we go down to single digits, like the weather they're calling for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, as we hit those single digits, if you have an aerator, it pumps air down to a stone. That stone brings bubbles to the surface. As the bubbles burst, it will freeze a dome. When we hit single digits, normally it'll keep an opening in the ice, but when we hit single digits, as those bubbles burst, they atomize to ice in the air, and they actually freeze a dome where those bubbles are coming to the surface and bursting. That does not hurt anything as long as the aerator is running underneath. The danger of a pond freezing over, and not so much with lakes, this is more for small volume bodies of water like our ponds in our backyard, because we have way more fish in there than what you would find per square foot in a lake. We don't want any of that debris that's rotting in the water, the leaves that might have snuck through the net or any fish waste that was in the water. As it breaks down, it creates a methane gas. We want that methane gas to be able to escape.
Okay.
Otherwise, it'll consume the oxygen and then suffocate the fish.
No. Don't do that.
So they're running the aerator underneath there. I have people, when we hit single digits, they'll call the nursery. They're like, oh my gosh, my opening in the water is gone. It's okay. The aerator's running underneath that, continuously putting oxygen back in, and it's actually keeping the pond warmer by freezing over. Because as that water comes to the surface, it's exposed to 32-degree ice, not negative 10-degree air or 3-degree air. So you're actually keeping the pond warmer by that freeze over that happens. Some people do have a heater at the very surface above the aerator, and that will keep the opening in the water. But it's we're kind of right on the cusp here. If you go any further north, up into Michigan, they recommend both. The veterinarians, they do heat and do aeration. Where we're at here, generally the aerator seems to be enough.
And as Rachel and I are well aware, do not feed the fish.
Nope. Not this time of
We
year.
hate it, but you can't feed them.
Most of the time when we get cold like this, they're kind of sitting on the very bottom, fins clamped against their side, not really moving around too much. They're in a dormant state.
Poor things. Oh, jeez. It's terrible.
That's where it's warm. They're going
Yeah.
down to the, I mean, Mother Nature's
You're
trying
right.
to keep that water 50 degrees down there. So they're just kind of going down to the bottom. That's why it's important not to put the air stone on the bottom of the pond.
Mhm.
We want to put that air stone maybe only a foot down in the water column.
Okay.
And that will prevent you from super cooling the pond. Remember, the bottom of the pond, we're trying to keep it, let Mother Nature keep it 50 degrees, which is what she's naturally trying to do. We don't want to pump 3-degree air down there because now we're super cooling that pond down. And until the year 2010, we'd never really had a recommendation where to put the air stone. We're like, just throw it in. Well, that year we had the coldest winter in all of Ohio's recorded history. 2010 was nasty. I think February we were below zero for like 15 days straight.
Oh, my God.
And when that happened, we realized through, as things thawed out in the spring, we contacting customers, contacting us, and we through asking people questions, we figured out that the stones that were on the bottom of the pond super cooled the ponds. The stones that were only part way down the side of the pond let that bottom temperature maintain, and those fish wintered much better.
Okay. All right. We'll take our final break now. You can give us a call, 330-450-1480. Email pcook@whbc.com. You're listening to Let's Grow Together with Roar's Nursery and Garden Center.
Hi, it's Angie Roar with Roar's Nursery. Spring feels like it's so far away, but at Roar's, we're getting ready for it. Why not get an early start on spring yourself and call now to schedule your appointment with one of our experts to brighten up your landscape? Visit us at Roar's Nursery on Everhard Road, Roar's Nursery on Portage Street, or roarsnursery.com.
Roar's Nursery. We want to be your number one nursery. Roar's Nursery. We want to be your number one nursery.
Tune in each Saturday morning at 8 a.m. for the Money Matters radio show. Find out how today's economy, debt levels, and policies affect your hard-earned money. You've made your money. Now it's time to watch it grow. Tune in to the hour-long Money Matters radio show every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. right here on News Talk 1480 WHBC. To speak to Bob Vowdy or Dave Ryan about your money matters, call New Horizon Financial Group in Canton at 330-499-1915. 330-499-1915.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday. Let's do this, Monday. ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ETHOS.com/term.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The new year means new resolutions, not just for your body, but for your finances as well. Did you know that financial health is directly related to your identity protection? This is why you need LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed, or your subscription money back. Resolve to make your identity, health, and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Visit LifeLock.com and save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK. Terms apply.
Welcome back. Let's Grow Together with Roar's Nursery and Garden Center. Matt and Rachel are here as usual, and we're going to go back to the phones right now. We have Jody in Canton. You are on the air with Roar's Nursery. Go ahead.
Well, good morning. I have a question. I have a night blooming cirrus. It was my great grandmother's plant. My mom gave it to me back in 1986, and it's dying. I am just losing leaf after leaf after leaf. It used to bloom a beautiful white bloom at night, and then in the morning it would close up. So I don't know if I'm losing the plant. I don't know if there's any way I can.
So it might just be the age, to be honest. I mean, plants do just have a lifespan, but it is very easy to start new starts from the leaves. If you have very healthy leaves, if you cut that off, you can start that into a new, just put right into soil. You can use a rooting hormone that will help, but it's really not necessary. But it is very easy to start fresh. So that would be what I would do.
So you would cut a leaf off and put it in the soil?
Yep.
You don't put it in any water to root it?
Yes, yeah, you have just kind of, you don't have to keep the soil completely water or moist, but it does help. But yeah, just water it and just it'll take root. It is very easy to do. I have one and I've started many of new starts that way. So because I know cactus can do that, just start to wilt and look, they just start to go downhill. But a lot of times if you take, or if you can take that plant out and kind of restart it, basically take everything out of it, or reroot it, basically. But
so I should take the dead part of the plant out and then reroot what leaf I have.
Yes. Yeah. Does that make sense?
It's such a beautiful plant, and when it
is.
blooms, it smells my house. It's just a beautiful fragrance.
How often has yours bloomed?
Well, it has bloomed several times over the years, but it hasn't bloomed in a couple of years.
Yeah, I was curious because I have one myself, and I think I had it in too big of a pot because I know they like to be crowded. So I haven't had it bloom for a while, but I have started it many a times. If any, just cutting off a leaf and throwing it right in the ground, and it will root. Sometimes you can even see roots on the sides of the leaves.
Okay.
All right.
But it's very easy to do that. And if you do have any questions or anything, you're welcome to stop in to the store.
And we've got that rooting hormone too there. Like she said, it naturally does it on its own, but that will encourage it to happen even more. Kind of may hedge your bets there a little bit just by giving it everything it needs to have success.
Okay. I hate to lose this plant. I just loved it. I'm just disappointed that it's dying on me. I don't know why, but maybe like she said, old.
Yeah, it could be.
And you could have that next generation with that new one that you start, and that can be handed down to the next 3 generations. That's pretty cool, though, that you've got that plant from your great-grandma. That's awesome.
Well, I know, and that was 50 years ago.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, the mother plant can just become tired, just old. So that is a good way to regenerate it, though.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Judy.
Thanks
Great
for the
question.
call. Yes, appreciate it.
Progress. I might be in to see you soon.
Okay.
That's good. That's good.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right, we're going to wrap things up with the man, the myth, and the legend, Al in Plain Township. How are you, sir?
Good morning, you guys.
Morning.
Good morning. So, Matt, I'm glad you're talking about the koi ponds, fish ponds today, because, first of all, with this little bit of warm weather we've had, my fish have been more active this winter than I've ever seen them. I mean, they're just seem more alert for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know whether they're being tricked by the weather, but Anyways,
when the water warms up, they'll come up to the surface for sure. They do. They're very temperature controlled. I mean, the colder it is, like you won't see them moving around much the next week here. They're going to be pretty much down at the bottom, staying still. But and when it warms up, they do kind of swim around and they're checking, and they are eating algae and other things out of the pond. That's okay for them. We just don't want to feed them food this time of year.
Right. I still go take a peek at them, bring the granddaughter. They still want to look at them. You know, like, hey, remember us. We're going to see you again soon. You know, be feeding you soon. Anyway, here's one real quick. You know, I have the landscape around my pond. I have a ton of that on the left side, that gooseneck loosestrife. I think, you know, that's a beautiful. I just love the foliage on that little white flower that bends and looks like a gooseneck. But, Matt, is there plants that could enhance? In other words, I want to get maybe rid of some of that gooseneck because there's so much of it. But is there plants that will enhance a pond that is specifically for ponds?
So there's a lot of perennials that are considered bog plants that will grow dry or wet. And so a lot of times you'll see us, we'll have them down in the pond department, and we call them marginals as a group of plants. And there's a lot of different kinds of marginals, some annual, some perennial. The annual ones generally grow very quickly, and they can kind of soften that edge where it goes from water to land or land to water. And there are some perennial ones that do that as well. A real popular one is forget-me-not. There's a couple different types of forget-me-nots, but I think one's Myosotis. Myosotis is the Latin name for forget-me-not. There's one called Sylvatica and another one called Scorpidites. The Scorpidites does really well in the water. The Sylvatica will rot. So it does matter which type of forget-me-not that you're planting, but they do a great job of blending the soil outside the pond and the water inside the pond and kind of softening that rock edge around the edge.
All right, I hate to cut you off, but we're going to have to jump off.
Gotcha. All right, thanks, guys. See, have a good day.
Hey, thanks for the call,
Thanks, Al. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay.
All righty. Thanks. All right, so Matt, give us all the information folks need to know.
Yeah, we've got two Rohr's Nursery locations, 5357 Everhard Road in Canton. Their phone number is 330-499-0101. Oh, sorry, that's our phone number. That's Portage Store's number. Their phone number down there is 330-492-1243. And that's where all the designers work out of. That's the phone number you want to call if you want to be added to a plow list this time of year, or if you just want to set up an appointment with a designer, give them a call, and they can really spend a lot of time with you this time of year, getting you exactly what you want for spring. Get on the books.
All right. We will, Rachel, talk to you and Matt next week.
All right. Talk to you then.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, it's Angie Rohr with Rohr's Nursery. Spring feels like it's so far away, but at Rohr's, we're getting ready for it. Why not get an early start on spring yourself and call now to schedule your appointment with one of our experts to brighten up your landscape. Visit us at Rohr's Nursery on Everhard Road, Rohr's Nursery on Portage Street, or rohrsnursery.com.
Rohr's Nursery, we want to be your number one nursery. Rohr's Nursery,